The last Mazda RX-7 we had was the FD. It was replaced by the RX-8, but that vehicle didn't have the same sort of performance and character of the legendary rotary twin turbo. And another Toyota nameplate we haven't heard from in years since 2006 is the Celica. Well, that all could be changing in the next couple of years. Over at Best Car Web, their newest magazine has two futuristic sports coupes that are battery electric. They don't write a whole lot about it. They keep it under secret because they want you to buy the magazine, and I went and bought the magazine. So on the cover page, it's saying 500 horsepower class, pure sport equipped with an all solid state battery. Development started with 2-motor all-wheel drive. Here's the next page. And this is where it gets really spicy. Now, I'll read the translations first, and then I'll get into my thoughts on the design. It is said that the body size is about to be the same as the GR Supra. The drivetrain will be newly developed 4-wheel drive instead of rear-wheel drive. And this EV is supposed to be the potential for electric vehicles in terms of performance or to attract the interest of young people and automobile manufacturers around the world. They are eager to test and develop battery sports electric vehicles. They're saying internal combustion engine vehicles have become an endangered species. Well, not at all, but they're kind of looking into the future. They say Honda is currently working on the NSX battery electric vehicle, which we'll talk more about here in a little bit. And when Toyota showcased all those battery electric vehicles in December, we had a GR sports car that looked like maybe a battery electric version of the MR2. Now, this isn't taking a page from that MR2 concept. That's a different vehicle altogether. They're saying the GR BEV Sports shown at the event in December last year is a mock-up model that expresses the image of a car, and it is likely a display car that such a sports car will be made. So it's just an early precursor of something way out into the future. This, what we're looking at here, is much more relevant in the near future. Now, looking at the design, to me on the back, I'm almost getting Nissan Z vibes. And then on the front, this grille seems super strange to me. It doesn't look like it's finished. And of course, these are just guesses from Best Car. Now, Best Car has been very accurate in the past, but they're typically very accurate when the vehicle's about a year away from actual production or actual on sale. So I don't know how closely this is actually going to look to the real vehicle when and if it gets officially announced. Next page here, we have a side profile of it, and this is where to me it looks by far the best. It almost looks like it's taking a page out of the Lexus lineup with the LFZ electrified concept with this body line that kind of goes up in the rear. This is still very Nissan Z, right, with that sloping roofline. You can almost say it takes a page out of what we have with the Lexus Sports battery electric concept as well. All right, let's start translating this page. Development has started, and there's little design information. I've kind of already talked about that, but it is certain it will be a legitimate 2-seater coupe, and it will be a 600 PS class high-power BEV. If we look at the LF30 electrified concept, that was, what, in 2020 or so? That from Lexus anyways, that had solid state batteries, and it had around 536 horsepower off the top of my head. So that's the type of power that is coming to mind here. They say the major issue for a full-scale BEV sports model is how to balance performance and battery. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means weight. Batteries are very heavy. But they're saying it is expected that development will progress rapidly as the commercialization of all solid-state batteries approaches. And with solid-state batteries, GR is planning a full-scale pure sport BEV. The world's automotive manufacturers and battery manufacturers continue to compete fiercely for the development of all solid-state batteries. But Toyota holds the world's largest number of patents, exceeding over 1,000, and it is said that a prototype vehicle will be released by the end of this year. It is one step ahead of the world in this field. Well, that's what they claim. Again, Toyota's very secretive with their technology. And when they show something, you better believe that they could produce it fairly soon, but we just haven't seen it. Now, they have said hybrids are going to be the first candidates for these solid-state batteries, but if they have a low-volume solid-state battery sports car, that could make sense as well. They're saying all solid-state batteries which have the same capacity as existing lithium ion, meaning the same volume capacity, but within the same volume package, it has a cruising range more than double and can significantly shorten the charging time and does not deteriorate as quickly. And they said the spread of battery electric vehicles will happen like wildfire once solid-state batteries are available. They claim it is the game changer. And Toyota is developing all solid-state batteries in collaboration with Panasonic, and it will be put into practical use in the first half of the 2020s. And the translation here makes this hard to understand, but it sounds like after 2026, it'll be much easier to mass produce these batteries that are all solid state. But up until then, they're just too expensive to put in what they call as old-fashioned cars. So a whole new car needs to be built around this battery pack to enable its full potential. And if we look at Lexus's full battery electric lineup that they teased, they were super low to the ground, incredibly good looking, super futuristic. None of them could exist with current lithium-ion batteries. Their whole future portfolio, when it comes to Lexus anyways, is all solid-state batteries. And if you hear the kids yelling a ton, they're playing hide and go seek. They've waited all day when I'm recording to play hide and seek. So there you go. Back to some more details on this vehicle. They're saying around 500 horsepower, like I mentioned a few times already. All-wheel drive, a motor in the front, a motor in the rear. What's more is that there's a completely new four-wheel drive control system, which has to be something like Direct 4 that we see on the new Lexus RX 500h, as well as the RZ 450e. Say the body size should be about the Supras. They're saying, first of all, a battery electric version of the Supra with an all-solid-state battery will appear before this midship model, that yellow model that we saw debuted in December. But is this vehicle what we're looking at, the Supra, or could it be a revival of the Celica nameplate? Well, we've seen Celica trademarked over and over, and renewal of those trademarks by Toyota. So either or could be a possibility at this point. So keep in mind this translation here, but they're saying in the case of battery electric vehicles that do not require shafts and only a thin battery on the floor. This is in regards to the solid state battery. And therefore the overall height can be drastically lowered to secure a cabin base, so the degree of freedom in design is considerably high. So the new solid state batteries are going to be a lot thinner than the current batteries. You can sit lower to the ground. It will be interesting to see all these new designs based around solid state batteries for sure. And that yellow orange sports car they're saying is supposed to debut a year after this battery electric sports coupe, but don't get your hopes up for that. Now the image below that MR2 successor is the image of the RZ. They're talking about how it has steer-by-wire variable steering, and the image below that RZ is just kind of a prototype of a solid-state battery. Now the remaining text to the left of those images of the RZ and the solid-state battery is saying the new four-wheel drive system will be a hot item. Just by using a motor that can be finely controlled, you can expect control that gives you optimum driving force to each of the four wheels as well as the front and rear. Due to the nature of the car, the control is focused on on-road maneuverability and is certain that it will show a new dimension of driving by the synergistic effect with the variable steering that will be natural equipment in the next few years. It is said that the GR team collects the driving operations of top-class WRC drivers as data, but it seems that the data will be fully utilized in the control of the new four-wheel drive system. And now it's time to talk about its sister vehicle, the RX-7, or whatever Mazda wants to call this brother or sister coupe next to the Toyota GR Compact Sports. The headline on the far right is saying this is even more surprising information than what we talked about with the Toyota GR Sports Compact. Toyota and Mazda have teamed up to develop a developmental plan for the RX-7 successor rotary engine extender. They're saying it's a series-styled hybrid, and the battery and the motor are very similar to what we see on that GR Sports Compact vehicle that we talked about just before this. But they're saying this is going to be a lot lighter than the GR version. They're saying unlike the GR Compact sports car, this will have a rear-wheel drive system. And just like how Toyota's teamed up with BMW, Subaru, they're teaming up with Mazda on this project to make it more affordable. So Toyota is said to be doing the base development for these vehicles, but Toyota highly appreciates Mazda's development ability, and it is possible that it occasionally asks for opinions even if it is not at the joint development level. Say the rotary engine is not tied to the wheels at all, and that explains why they said it's a series hybrid just a second ago. It only helps top off the battery during the drive. They're saying that it might even be able to run off of hydrogen fuel, and Toyota's been working with hydrogen engine combustion as well. The rotary range extender engine has been in development for at least 10 years. In order to provide enough juice for the battery, they're saying that this rotary engine could be multi-rotor and have a supercharger. They say although it is just for energy generation or power generation, you can enjoy the unique heartbeat of the rotary when accelerating, and you can enjoy a driving feel different from any other BEV. Now looking at the design from the side, it looks nearly identical to the Toyota, but from the back, these are obviously styled, or these taillights are obviously styled from the FD RX-7. The front end just has a little bit different grille and headlights, but overall the vehicle does look the same. Now, I'm sure you guys have also seen on the side here GTR and NSX. So let's talk about what Best Car is saying about them. Japan's BEV super sports fierce competition and fierce development battle out. Just keep in mind translation, I'm doing my best here. If its all solid state batteries can cover many BEVs' weaknesses such as short cruising distance and long charging time, and they're put into practical use, the number of models will increase at once. Now, they talked about Toyota's success with it, especially with the BEV sports compact car we talked about, but nor Nissan nor Honda have lost the prize that is solid state batteries. They're working hard on it. And the big name sport cars like the GTR and the NSX are planned on using all solid state batteries for the next generations. Development on this BEV GTR has become, and the NSX is at a stage where Honda has indicated its intention to develop, but the aim is the same, to appeal to the world with high technology and super sports. They say the next GTR will come before the 2030s with the goal of making the debut the Honda NSX that has released the truth. So again, translation, but solid state battery versions of the NSX and the GTR and Mazda and Toyota sports cars should be here by the end of this decade. So in the next 8 years, we'll have solid state battery super sports from Japan, starting in a whole new era of competition from the Japanese automakers. It'll be fun to watch. They have a whole page here on the GR Corolla. Looks like the Morizo edition, which watch my walk around at the GR Sports tent at Plano, Texas this past year. But they also have some information here on the RX. Now, I didn't translate all of it, and I'm not going to read all of it, but I think the big takeaway here on the RX, well, they have some cool colors. They show all the colors as well as the different interiors, which is awesome. But the big takeaway here is that the e-axle on the 500h F Sport Performance model is identical. It's the same exact rear motor that's in the all-wheel drive BZ4X Subaru Solterra and the rear motor in the RZ450e. It's the same exact motor, so around 107, 108 horsepower and 124 pound-feet of torque, if I remember off the top of my head. That is incredible. So we essentially have fully electric car powertrain on the back of this RX. It'll be fun to play with it and drive it, and I should be driving it by the end of this summer. So definitely mark your calendars, end of August or so. I don't know when the embargo will end. I just kind of know roughly that's when this event will take place. So definitely stay tuned. I can't wait to share you guys my driving impressions of the new RX. And typically I'm most excited for this guy, not where is it at? RX-350h, because I think that is the mass volume model. The RX-450h plug-in will be pretty low volume, as well as this 500h. But the 500h is what I'm most excited for because it's all new Direct 4 technology. We've never seen a hybrid, at least from Toyota, with this sort of power coming to the rear axle. The closest vehicle I can kind of think of would be Volvo. Volvo has a similarly powered rear motor on the back, but that's a plug-in hybrid. This is just a normal hybrid. So it would be amazing if Toyota, maybe with solid state batteries, right? That could be a thing where they make this 500h a plug-in hybrid, and that would essentially be a direct rival to the XC90 at that point, only with 2 rows of seats. They talk about how there's no 3-row seat coming for the RX like there is in this current generation as well. That could change in the future, but more than likely it's because Lexus is bringing out the TX built in Indiana probably by the end of next year. I'm hearing October 2023 for production for that TX, the 3-row Lexus that should have very similar powertrains to what we see on this RX. But just going into their super long video today. I didn't plan on making it this long, but I Google translated everything in the article, and there was a lot more in there than I thought there was. So anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, subscribe for more news coming out of Japan on our favorite car brands. Catch you in the next one. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves and peace out.